I'm going to explain how I organize my fly boxes. Now there's always the theory of how to do it and how someone actually does it in practice. And I'm going to show you how I actually do it. I haven't rearranged anything in my fly boxes. I've got my vest on here. And I'm just going to start pulling out my fly boxes and showing you how I've got them organized, for better or for worse. But this is how I do it, folks. Like I say, for better or for worse. So I've got a box of caddis patterns. Get it out here. These are dry flies and pupa patterns. So this is just caddis and just dry flies and pupa. Okay, no nymphs. And it's see-through, which I like because that helps me, just decide which side I need to open. Here's a bunch of pupa patterns, but these are all dry fly caddis and emerger pupa patterns for caddis. Box 1. Same side. Another smaller box. This is all stoneflies, and it includes both stonefly nymphs and stonefly dry flies. I don't usually carry as much variety of stoneflies, so I can put both the nymphs and the dries in the same box. If I needed some other types of small stoneflies, I probably wouldn't have them in here, and I'd have to grab them elsewhere. But this is the main box I use for bigger stonefly nymphs and dries. So that's all on this side of my bed. The other side, you guessed it, we're going to have some mayfly patterns here. Another see-through box. These are all dry flies for mayflies, and there's some emerger patterns in here too. But a wide variety of mayfly patterns, different sizes, different colors. And this is going to work for 3 or 4 of the major mayfly hatches. It's not going to work for all the mayfly hatches I'll run into, but 3 or 4 of the major ones: the blueing olives, PMDs, March browns, a few green drake patterns, and another series of flies on this side. A few attractor patterns in here for mayflies too. There's some royal wolves, but it's mostly fairly imitative patterns, variety of styles, parachutes, comparadons, CDC dries, and then some emergers too, floating emerger patterns. But all basically dry fly surface patterns. The other box I have on this side are really the main box I use for nymph fishing. This has a couple of sides to it. This side is all mayfly nymphs, and this is my go-to nymph box for a lot of my nymph fishing. It's got the small size mayfly patterns, 18s, 20s, 16s, beadheads, and the other side is all caddis nymph patterns. Green rockworms, net spinning caddis, some check nymph patterns. It also has some pupa patterns in here as well. The big ones here is a October caddis pupa, but there's a lot of small pupa patterns. So this is my main go-to box for nymph fishing with caddis and mayflies. And these are the main boxes I carry. Now, it doesn't cover everything, so I do have some small boxes that might have specific things in here for a particular hatch. So here's a little box that's just set up for spinner patterns and some small mayfly patterns. Okay, so these are just some spinners and some other little mayfly patterns, okay? And so that's a very kind of specific little box. And I have another one over here. And sometimes these get a little bit disorganized because I start, you start throwing things around and don't keep them straight, and you have to later go through it. But this has got, this has mostly all March brown patterns in it. So if I'm out fishing during the March brown hatch, that's what you're going to go to. So I do keep little boxes like that. Now, for more specific situations, I've got a box here for terrestrials. Wouldn't be carrying this with me today. It's the middle of the winter. Not the time of year you're going to find terrestrials, but when it's the right time of year, I might have this box with me with terrestrials, ants, grasshopper patterns, some beetle patterns. And then, of course, we're along a stream, so I'm not carrying lake flies, but if I'm on a lake, I'm going to have a different set of fly boxes with lake patterns. A lot of leeches, woolly buggers, Another box would be just chironomids if I'm fishing lakes. But I don't have those with me today. I'm on a stream, and I'm going to be using these 4 boxes, going to cover the bases for them. So that's how I do it. Hope it helps.